have all our paint ready for the sky part. I just need to pre-mix a little bit because the brownie color is a little dark and our sky is not so much dark like that. Just a tiny bit I mix with yellow. During the painting, we can add a little bit lighter tone at the same time in our palette as well, in our canvas, it's okay, but even you can do it right now and make it lighter. Just a tiny bit white can reduce this darkness and we can make something close to the value of the painting. Yeah, that's so close to this color. We can see here on top. So I need a little bit more brown, need a little bit more yellow because more amount of sky I need to cover it. It's so bigger than the color that I pre-mix. So this is good. And then I need more yellow for this part, which is my horizon line. So I mix a little more yellow with the white color, pure white color. To make a little bit lighter because my yellow is so shiny. I don't want to have that shine in winter time. So I mix it with yellow, with the white color and reduce this warm and shiny yellow. And even for sky as well, our blue, it's look like this one, the top part. But when we close to the warm color, it's a little lighter than this value. So we need a little blue to take and mix with white to have lighter value. Heavy paint, it's more easy to cover your background if you take heavy paint, because I know that white of the canvas, it's not easy to get rid of it. So with heavy paint, you can cover that easily. And a little bit, I bring it up because I would like to add this brownie color on my yellow, and I would like to reduce this darkness again more. Because of that, I make it wet by yellow and bring it a little bit more further on top, and then bring the brownie color on top of the yellow to let it mix with the yellow as well a little bit more and give me nice and fade background. You see that? It's because the yellow is wet and the brown is wet too, so they can easily blend together. Just like that would be okay. Very gently. If I use the yellow part, I can again back to the yellow color and add a little bit more on top and let it mix with the reddish brown. And again, reduce this darkness. So the skies should be smooth and soft. Like that. And then a little bit more, bring it up with this color. Then I take my blue. I try my best not to make the line between the brown and the blue. And it make the line because the two colors are so separate from each other. But that's fine because I would like to bring a little white in between as a cloud that cover it. So at the same time, I bring the nice and pure white color and make a little cloudy shape at the same time here between the blue and brown. Very gently with very less pressure on my hand, I'll let them mix into each other like this. So you already get rid of the line that make the division between those. And then again, move it on the other part, center a little bit more. Or even here, we have a lots of cloud. The big one. In some part they mix with the blue, in some part they mix with brown. Or even yellow. For any part that you would like to cover it and you need to have a pressure on your hand, you can add more pressure and more pigment. For some part like the cloud that you would like to let it so smooth and soft, please add very less pressure in your hand and very gently bring the brush stroke on top of your painting. And then we move on again with the pure blue and white color that we mixed before. Try to take heavy paint because heavy paint takes more time to get dry. And we need our paint be wet to add the white color as a cloud and let them mix together. Because of that, I really interested to have heavy paint on top of my canvas. So this is the blue part. So again, clean my brush with napkin this time and take pure white color. Very gently try to shape and form a little cloud on top. And let it mix to the blue color. That's fine. Small cloud, most of the time it's interesting to bring. And the brush again. Some more here. And when both color, blue and white, when it's wet, you see that it's nice blend together here, more blue, and then when you move on with the pure white, more white in some parts. So you have already bluey white or just a pure white. Even when you finish, because I don't know, maybe the canvas size, it's more bigger for you, you can half of the sky, make it really wet with the blue, finish with the some cloud, and then start the other half. And adding some tiny cloud by tip of the brush in between and let it dry. square rectangle shape. I draw in this part, and I will cover it by just the brown color. The details we will bring it later. This is just the square, no, sorry, the rectangle. And then for the other part, that is a little bit, it can be again rectangle shape, but a little longer, connected with this one. And then we will add the roof. Paint it. The roof can be just pure white color. I draw one line on top. It's okay if you do heavily, that's fine. And for the other side, we just need to add one stroke as a line, and that's enough. So we have already dark green. It doesn't matter with which kind of brush you're comfortable. You can go with flat or you can go with pointy and round brush. I start with this one because I find it sometimes it's more easy to make the point on top. And I would like to start from here because a little bit long, I would like to be a little bit here. Start adding some details more to make the tree a little bigger and bigger. But in between, I prefer sometimes to have the background color of sky. It's nice to be visible. And I prefer to have a little tiny texture. So I take heavy paint like this and try to add on the surface and try not to make it fade together a little bit, leave it a little thick. So like that. This is the thickness that I can have. And the reason, because I would like to bring the snow color on top, the snow white color, it makes it so lovely when it has a little texture. I'm going to add one line here. Okay. Because it's still a little wet, but I'm careful for not touching some part. I draw one narrow line. It shouldn't be narrow actually because it's a thicker trunk trees. So I draw both sides and pass from the cone 3, bring it up. It doesn't need to be straight, it can be moved toward left or right, make it a little bending, or it can be broken. Both are okay. I prefer to do like this. And when you go up, it's better to be a little narrow when you compare it from the bottom part. And then cover with the dark brown color. We will bring the snow later on top. I just cover it with the dark brown. Shape it like that. So this is whole trunk tree. If you want to add the branch, again with the flat brush, with the tip of flat brush, we can draw the line. So connect one line from the trunk tree toward here and then draw some narrow line. And you see, even with this one, we can draw the narrow line. And again, the snow will come on top later. And the other one, I move on like this. Then use some broken line to show that this branch a little bit has some shape. Even the other part like this, we can draw the line. But make sure even when it's narrow on the top part, but when you want to connect it to the trunk tree, it's a little bit thicker. There is another tree a little bit here on top. It's a start from this side of canvas and move up. Even we can move with this darker green and add some shape of grass. Or with the side of your brush, even you can add some grass here on top. But make sure always we need to have empty space in between to make it more interesting. And then still I'm interested to have more branch on top of this trunk trees. Sometimes when you use pure color, it's not easy to move on top of canvas as a narrow line. You can add a little drop of water and make it more easily move. Then the other trunk tree is start from the back of cone tree, then bring it up. Add some branches around. Brown, a little bit blue I need to premix with white color and the pure white color. So this is the light blue color. Even I need more blue. If you don't have, please add a little bit more blue, because we need to work more on some part to have a fresh colors, but we need to have a texture as well. Some details in front, so if you make a texture would be nice and interesting. So again, back to my flat brush, or even maybe, let me see, smaller would be better. Yeah, smaller brush would be useful more. Not this one, this is so bigger than that. Small size, I mean something like that. This is smaller. So I start adding, first of all, on top of trunk trees and here. I just go with a pure white color. I am not covering everywhere. I bring it a little bit, some texture, heavy texture, like this, on top of the trunk tree. Not everywhere. Please bring some heavy texture on the right side, for example. Heavy texture like that. I take with a brush, randomly bring it on trunk trees. And when I move down, I'm going a little liney, like that. And even a little bit more on the grass I can add. And then move on with this light blue color for cone tree on the stance. Please not make all the part bluey or snowy. Just some texture on top would be okay. Even you can mix the bluey color with the white, pure white color. Just some dot to show this is covered by snow. And then the others. I start with the light blue because it's further than me. And then I will add just a little bit white on top. Like that. Even sometimes happen that because it's tiny bits, you can cover your trunk tree that you're not happy with, then back to the dark color, and then bring it more dark on top. And then reduce the white color of snow, or even on top of the cone tree. So don't worry, even if you cover it with more snow, you can back and lift up some paint and then bring some darker tone on top. Or even you can let it dry and then bring this dark tone. I think I'm going to add a lots of white. After adding the snow on top of trunk trees and the cone tree, just with the lighter color like this one, I would like to make a road for my cottage in front. I imagine here a little line back there, then move on here. A little darker tone as well, we mix with it. Even when I'm close to the cottage, I would like to add like that. Yeah, that would be okay. And then with this light blue, adding heavy texture on top and in between. Heavy texture because it shows that the snow, and when the snow is on some place on the floor, sorry, on the grass or some place, it should be heavy, not the flat. And then you can mix with the pure white color, make it interesting. I prefer not to add more heavy paint on this stance. I just bring the heavy texture here in front, even on this part as well. Mix with the blue and white. Pure white color. Or even this lighter browny color, we need to have some movement here, some there. This is so interesting. Making some snow everywhere. The snowflake, it's so easy, just a pure white color. And the tip of your brush, you don't need to add a lot, just a tiny bit, and make your brush like that. And adding some circle, small circle somewhere. This is so visible, so it depends. Some snow are visible. Let me bring it here. If you see some of them, it's so visible, some it's fade to the background, and it's on this stance, so it's not really much visible. So we have two techniques. One, it's take heavy paint, like a circle, and adding on top, like that, and spread everywhere. We can have some like those. Let me adding this, and then I will let you know how you can make the other, which is fade and disappear. But this is for heavy paint. Randomly I will add, and I'm not pay attention about the size. Sometimes it's bigger, some smaller. The other is you can add a little drop of water and make your white color a little disappear, and then mix with the watery base, and just try to add, oh no, it's still paint. So much water should be. We don't need to have a lots of paint. And then draw some circle like that. It's watery, and after it gets dry, it disappear to the background more and fade. But it's so much water inside. You can make this a little bigger even, because it disappear after it gets dry, so it's better to be a little bit bigger.